Welcome to
House of Whimsical Terror.
I'm Esther,
I'm Mary.
and we're speaking to you from Tucson, Arizona.
And we're telling real stories of the fantastical.
All of our stories are true or told to us as true.
Occasionally we alter names to protect privacy.
Places for the same reason.
That's exactly right.
We've got a couple shout outs we'd like to do today. One is to our brand new, amazing social media manager.
That's right.
Isabella Blue, and she will be putting some things out on Instagram and collecting photos and different things, which is really, really wonderful.
It is. It's fantastic. We're very grateful.
We also want to send out shout outs to our listeners. Our listener base is growing. Our subscriber base is growing too. If you haven't subscribed yet, we would love it if you would.
Yes.
And we have folks in Oregon and
Texas.
Hi, China.
Yeah.
And in
Virginia,
North Carolina, Arizona, of course, California for sure, and
New Mexico,
Berlin, which is super cool, and especially Ireland, where our favorite people exist.
Yes.
Thank you for listening in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of our subscribers, Tom.
Yeah.
So we have a very, very, very special guest today.
We do.
Who is going to be telling a story about my niece. In full disclosure, I was around for part of this story, so I'm very excited that she's telling it.
Yes, and tonight's story is Grave Attraction.
Yes, Grave Attraction.
And our guest
is Cindy, who is, among other things, the director of azvaudeville.com. If you want to find them, she does amazing vaudeville work, and she is their director. I've been in a couple of the productions a million years ago, but I'm very proud of the work I did with them and the work that she does as azvaudeville.com. We're going to do all the plugs for her.
We're going to do lots of plugs.
We're so grateful that she's here to tell this story.
And I'm so glad that you're able to join us
tonight. Hi, Esther and Mary.
Hi.
I just want to know, if you were in productions a million years ago, how old does that make us? We might be ghosts ourselves.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is
I think you're immortals.
Well,
Immortals.
Little tuck, little nip, I appreciate y'all having me tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
And you've got some great stories.
I've got a few stories. In my life, there's been a lot of ghostly activity. I grew up with it. It's always been around me, and it always seems to be there. So it's the picking which one you want me to tell tonight. But you would like to hear the one about grave attraction.
Yes. Yes. That's such a great one. And, there were a few of us there for it, so we witnessed quite a bit of it.
Yeah.
This is a great one. We're hoping that we can do an on-location one also at your house, because you've got some
haunted home.
Yeah. I really think that when you just open up and allow the energies that are already around you to manifest and to be recognized, they're there. They're often there.
Absolutely.
If you just allow it. I hear a lot of people say, I've never had a ghostly encounter, and I think possibly they have. They just haven't opened themselves up to allow that there is something that's strange and they cannot explain, and that's okay. That's okay. We all come to this in our own time, our own way.
True.
Should I begin?
Yes. So that cemetery.
So there's a cemetery near our town that is really special. It is very particular to individuals. They allow the loved ones of the people that have passed away to decorate and to honor them in whatever special way that they would like. And the cemetery is well maintained. It's beautiful, although it does have graves from the 19th century. So there's some much older graves as well as newer contemporary graves all the way right through. But to say it's delightful, it really is a delight to walk through the cemetery. It's just such a special way to honor your loved one by
Right.
being able to decorate their the last place that they've gone to rest.
The wind chimes over some
Wind
of them.
chimes,
A toy house, which was very sad over a
That's-
child's grave.
benches, and overhangs, and planting.
The telephone with the nameplate.
Telephone, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So some celebration and some solemnity all at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. It really is.
Ah,
So there was
sounds
this
like-
one time a few years ago that Esther and I and my daughter Bella and another friend of ours decided to just walk around. And this is during the day. It's still daylight out. We
Mhm.
just decided to walk around and take a look at these beautiful grave sites and the special ways that they've been decorated. And at some point, the four of us all sort of went our own direction. It's not a huge cemetery,
mhm.
but we just all sort of wandered off in a different direction. And at some point, I sat down on a bench, a memorial bench that had been placed there by a loved one,
Mhm.
and I was just staring out over the graves that I could see in front of me, just being quiet, just looking. And about 20, 30 feet away, I could see a disruption. I would describe it like when it's really hot and you're driving on the highway
Mhm.
and the asphalt kind of has the fume, looks like the
Uh-huh.
waves coming off of it
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
really
Yeah.
hot.
I know what
That,
you're
Yeah.
talking
that kind of distortion of the
Mhm.
light.
Uh-huh.
That's what it looked like. Like in the distance, I could see this sort of distortion of light.
Hmm.
And I was just sitting there watching it, just seeing what
Uh-huh.
happened. And my daughter came up and she sat beside me and she said, "So what are you doing?" I'm like, "Do you see that over there?" And she's like, yeah, I do. I can see that." And we watched it for a minute or two. And I said, "Well, let's go see what grave that's associated with." So we walked over, and the one that I thought it was, as we got closer, that just wasn't the right headstone. We moved a little further out, and it was a headstone of a teenage boy that had passed away.
Hmm.
And I should say at this time, my daughter was a teenager herself as well.
Ah.
And we looked at his headstone, we read the name, we talked about how old he was when he had passed, and
Mm.
and you know how sad that is, how tragic
Truly,
it is to
truly.
lose such a young family member, and you know how sad his parents must have been, and such.
Mhm.
And we walked around the graveyard a little bit more, and then she and Esther and I and our other friend left, and we went to dinner. And after dinner, the four of us are standing in a parking lot, just chatting, as you do,
Mhm.
chit-chatting about the day and other events and other things going on. And then my daughter and I get in the car to drive home, and she says, "Oh, I need to tell you one more thing. While we were there looking at the boy's grave, my daughter bent down and picked up a rock. There were colorful glass pebbles around his grave, and she picked up one and held on to it and put it in her pocket."
Mm.
So as we're driving home, my daughter says, "I don't want to worry you, but while we were standing there, the four of us kind of in a circle talking in the parking lot," she said, "I kept feeling like somebody was behind me."
Hmm.
And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, did they seem, was it frightening? Do you think they were malevolent? Does it seem like something that worries you?" She said, "No, I just kept feeling like somebody was right behind me." And there was nobody behind her. We were in a parking lot, the four of us together. There was nobody. There was
Right.
nobody around us.
It was daylight.
It's daylight, right?
And so I said to her, "You still have that rock?" And she pulled it out of her pocket. I said, "Yeah, you should probably get rid of that. Maybe something is attached
Mhm.
to that." So she
Sure,
rolled the window
sure.
down and she threw the rock out. And we went on home. Well, the following day, she was home alone after school. I wasn't home from work yet. And she was working on the computer. And the computer sat in a little area that was by our secondary door, our carport door. And the door itself had a window on it. And right next to the door, there was another window. And they both looked out onto the carport.
So you could see the entire car.
You could see the entire
okay.
carport. You could see if anybody had it was standing, whether or not they'd even pulled up. If there was a person standing there, there was a large, half the door was window, and then another big window next to it. And she was sitting right by it at the computer, and I wasn't home yet. And she said the door handle started to rattle. It was locked, but it started to rattle. And it really made her uncomfortable.
Yes.
And she would look at it and it would stop, and she would turn her head and go back to working on her homework, and the door handle would start to rattle again.
Terrifying.
And she could see through the window that there was nobody standing there. There was nobody there, and the door handle just kept rattling. So when I got home from work, she was pretty unnerved by that situation. A young girl being home alone is kind of unnerving. And at the time, too, we lived out of ways from town. We had an acre of property, so we had a long driveway. We didn't get people wandering up. You had to really be intentional
wanting to be
at our house, right? So I said to her, I said, honey, I really feel like it's that boy. I think his energy attached to your energy, because you're both young people, you're both teenagers, and I think he's just trying to say hello to you, but it's not okay for him to scare you.
Right.
So we did a cleansing ritual, and I did some smudging, and I told him I just didn't feel anything was malevolent about the presence. Right. But I told him, I think you're just trying to contact her, and I understand, but you're frightening her, and it's not okay, and we need you to move on. And that never happened again. So
he was a good kid.
He was a good kid, and I wish him well, and I don't think he meant her any harm, and I don't even think he meant to scare her. I think he just wanted to say hello.
Yeah, and it seemed like she was kind of
another kid.
Yeah, picking something up.
She was picking something up, and that belonged in that area, and and we were talking about him, and I think he just wanted to be noticed.
Yes, and I don't think that that's unusual, and I think you're probably right about the fact that her youthful energy and him being a young man, and there's some, there's attraction there.
Yes. Yeah.
Did she tell us the other night that something happened with one of the dogs? Maybe Dingo, maybe, or when the rattling was happening? I thought she said the dog was reacting to.
Certainly could have, because she said the door handle was actually rattling. And I've had many experiences where I hear something, and the dogs will hear it too and look at me, because they don't see a person there. They want to know, Mom, did you see what just happened? Did you hear that?
Right.
Yeah, I've heard that. I heard that happen. So, the dogs certainly pick up on these things.
Oh, sure.
There are some dogs that are more intuitive I believe, obviously just my beliefs, to the spirit world than others. Our dog Dingo was certainly one of those. I referred to her as my familiar, because she, of all of my pets, she is the only one that really seemed in tune to the spirit world. And when we would cast a circle, she would walk around and monitor the edges of the circle. The other dogs that I have that I love very much just didn't seem to know what was going on one way or the other. But Dingo really seemed to pick up on spirits, pick up on the spirit world, understand when we were doing something important, we were doing a work that she needed to be looking out for us, and monitoring the situation. And she was a strange dog in a lot of ways, but she was really special in that way. And more than once, Dingo protected the circle, a circle that Esther and I had cast.
And it's true.
Undoubtedly.
I miss her. She wasn't the most, she wasn't a cuddly dog. You couldn't just pick her up and cuddle her. She didn't appreciate that. But by gosh, she was connected to me and made sure that I was protected. So if there was any spiritual activity going on in the house, she was right there in the middle of it, taking a look at what was going on. So
she was
I love and miss her.
Oh, yeah. Dogs are the best.
Yeah. She's a good baby. I miss her too. Thank you for that
Thank
story.
you for the
That's
story.
Welcome.
so spooky.
It
and
is.
I'm glad Bella was protected and
Mhm.
Yeah,
Safe
yeah.
and okay.
mom who can protect her from
Yeah.
Yeah.
unseen.
Right.
And normalize some of these things, because for me, I think that they're normal kinds of
Yeah.
experiences. So, putting them into a perspective of it's just an energy trying to get your attention, not necessarily
Right.
trying to hurt you. Not that there aren't malevolent spirits
Certainly.
and energies out there. I do believe
Yeah.
there are, and I have
Surely.
encountered some of those. But I think oftentimes they're just those who have crossed over that just want us to know they're still here.
Yeah.
Sure.
That they're, pay attention to me. Can we communicate? And I really feel like that's what he was doing. He just wanted to get her attention.
Yeah. Lonely and,
Sure.
out in the middle of the cemetery. And there's someone with my
another kid.
similar vibration. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. And that was fantastic way of handling it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did grow up with this.
I was going to say you had some experience. Yeah. And we're going to interview you in your home, which has some other energies as well. Not the same home that you're speaking
different
of.
home.
Yes.
Yep. No,
So
I'm in a new home.
Forward to
I'm
that.
looking forward to that too. That's going to be
That
exciting.
is was one of the first houses that was put up in this particular community. It predates many of the houses in our area.
It's a beautiful
It does,
house.
and it is a beautiful house, and it's definitely from another era, and I'm certain many stories are collected in it.
I'm sure they have been for decades and decades.
Certainly.
All right. Well,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you for
Cindy.
having me.
And thank you to our listeners for listening in.